Okay, we can exit stage, but that's fine. I'm okay with it. Don't worry about it. They got it. Don't hurt yourself. Okay. Long time no see. Hey, royalty here. I forget too. I haven't seen you in the mix. Good to see you. I seen her though. Seen her at the Mint. Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Somebody? It's somebody. You was hoping it was going to be Mr. We didn't even.
Yeah? Where would that have been? No. Yeah. Right.
Check. Check.
Hello, everybody. This is a beautiful day, and this is a beautiful evening because we're going to have some wonderful music. Yes. And have you seen the art out front? That's Dusty's art. Oh, fabulous. So I am going to start. Lanny, of course, it's not of course. Lanny is late right now. He's working on something, and he'll be here. He's running over here as we speak. So I told him we're going to start without him. Huh? Okay. So let me start. Let me start with the Bible verse. Let's get us covered. 2 Corinthians 4:16-18. So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light, momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison. As we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal. Yes, amen. Well, today we have Dusty, who's showing his photography. Now, Dusty does everything here. He does all the video, and he sets up the sound for every show, everything at this church. And we are loaded with all the best equipment. So, Dusty, come up here and talk about your artwork.
I have to find time to do my artwork. I decided today I'm just going to kind of do a kind of presentation of what I have out there so you know what it is we're looking at. I started doing these calendars a while back, and the main reason was that I could put the family birthdays in there so that everybody's picture is on their birthday. And there's about 40 of them now. In the back, there is a list of all the people and what families they connect to. That way, if people in one family are trying to figure out who connects to who, it's all back there. Then I do another version of this. I take out the people, and that's the general version, and I make those available to anybody who's interested. The other pictures out there, I'm going to mention those because I won't have a chance to talk to everybody, and I want to give you kind of a sense of what you're looking at. This was a Cooper's hawk in the backyard. That's one of those things that is a happy accident. So he's out there, he's calm enough, he's there short time enough. I, thank goodness, have a long enough lens sitting on a table ready to go. So you run to the window and hope he doesn't fly away while your shadow gets in the window and you try to shoot him. That works. This is also the backyard. Now, don't forget, we couldn't travel around for a year. So I ended up shooting lots in the backyard, and I came out here to this campus, and a lot of the pictures you see of this campus I shot during that time because I didn't have anything else to shoot. And the idea on that is to try to find a nice time of day, try to find a day when an area looks good. And sometimes, you're driving along and you say, oh, gee, this looks just right. And this is up in come on, my note is here, Paso Robles. I was on another. Attaway. All right. It didn't like the picture, that's what it was. I was driving by this area outside Paso Robles on a trip, drove past it. I said, wow, I can't stop. I got to come back. So the next time I came up to that area, that's when I shot this. It was 10 in the morning when I drove by the first time. We were there at 10 in the morning the next time. And what we got was a really nice, slightly overcast day, so the shadows weren't too bad, and the sense of depth was very strong. It was a nice way to go. This is probably a 3-image picture, one dark, one medium, one bright, stacked together so that all the detail comes out the way you want it. The cool thing about being able to do this today is generally I'm doing this digitally, And it's really fun to take the pictures and blow them up to the size that you see out there. And then you realize, oh yeah, the detail is still there. You can still see the leaves. You can still see the soil. And that is often what you're after. Backyard was very handy. It looked really cool one day, grabbed the camera, went out. Barbara says the color isn't right, but I like the color, so we're good with that. This one, I've been shooting telephone poles a lot, and it's not the poles so much, it's the stuff. We are surrounded by these things all the time, and chances are nobody notices. But there are 1,000 different little gizmos up there that hold the wires in place and serve as insulators and serve as transformers and serve as one kind of connector after another. So I shot this, and I thought, how can I make it more interesting? So I changed the color of the sky. The sky is now red. It was not when we started. Digitally, that's real simple to do. You do a click, and you move a slider, and you change the color of the sky. It helps make it jump, and that's what you're after. This, again, is the backyard. Woke up in the morning, beautiful sunrise, bingo. Can't miss it. Again, you got to go for the detail. You got to make sure that the exposure is right. You got to make sure that when you get the file, you can actually do something with it. So that worked really well. This was just south of Big Sur. And my photo club took a trip up there. We spent a few days in that area. The nice thing about this is it's stackable. You've got a nice hold at the beginning to pull your eye, and then it stacks up and recedes into the distance. And that's kind of hard. We are surrounded by chaos. We don't notice that because we're so familiar with it. But the whole point of taking a photograph like this is to crop out what gets in the way of is having a good time with it, and then lining up what's there so that you take the chaos and you make a little sense of it. And that is a lot of what most of my photography is about, is finding a way to clean up the chaos and find a way to notice a thing. Very often it's hard. I notice a thing and I have trouble figuring out why I noticed it. And that's sort of what the photography is about, to figure out what's noticeable about it. This last one is Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada. It's the first state park that Nevada put together. It's 40 miles outside of Las Vegas. Many people do the park as a day trip. You can go there in 4 hours, you go through the whole thing. We go and spend 3 or 4 days there at a time, shooting and shooting and shooting. We'll shoot 1,000 or 1,500 images, and they're all very like this. I have a whole series of just called Faces of Fire, because a lot of the images look like faces. Sometimes human faces, sometimes animal faces, sometimes alien faces, but this place is just full. These are sand dunes, petrified sand dunes that are worn down by sand and rain and water, sand and rain and wind. And there are thousands of these formations all over the place. That's it for me. Let's get on with the music. Thank you very much.
When is you guys gonna start setting up? Come on down. I'm gonna start reading your bio in front of everyone. Louis Van Taylor, sax. Yes. He has worked with various types of saxophone, piccolo, flute, clarinet, and other instruments. Can be heard on numerous television and movie soundtracks. His credits include performances with a long list of famous acts, including Kool and the Gang, the Gap Band, Jimmy Smith, the Four Tops, the Temptations, Gerald Wilson, Kenny Burrell, Mariah Carey, and many, many others. And go for it, Louis. It's all yours.
Okay, since we're introducing everybody, let's give a big round of applause to Mr. Stu Perlman. Stu is very active in the music scene, everything. He's just a phenomenal musician, plays it all, and he's the scientist of the band. He knows all the right changes and all the right notes to the scale. So once again, Stu Perlman, Plays with everybody. Give him a big round of applause. Michael Alvidrez on the acoustic bass. Most recently, he's been playing with. Okay, I got you. With Don Littleton has a band. What is it called? Elephants in the Park. Yeah, what is that about? Anyway, and most recently, he's been playing with a great saxophonist by the name of Azar Lawrence. Michael Alvidrez on acoustic bass. Steve Carter plays with everybody in town. We both had the pleasure of playing with the Charles Owens Big Band, and we played often. One of our regular gigs was at the Lighthouse Cafe. Unfortunately, we're not there anymore, so we kind of missed that. But Steve has been playing with me for about 3-4 years, and I'm very fortunate to have him on the band. He also is featured on my CD, which I didn't bring. I forgot. So, excuse me. We'll work it out. But Steve Cotter on the electric guitar. Mr. Kenny Sarah, phenomenal drummer. Currently has been working with the great Benny Maupin, and we're very fortunate to have him with us today, Kenny Sarah. So we like to just get down with it and just start and play some good music. How you like this? It's kind of nice. This is the first time I play this, use this, so let me know. Okay. We like to open up with one of the songs that I have featured on my CD. It's a composition composed by the great Tad Dameron. It's entitled On a Misty Night. And we like to have Mr. Kenny Sarah open it up for us with a little bit of a drumming. Steve Carter. Stu Perlman on the piano. Kenny Serra on the drums. Michael Alvidrez on the acoustic bass. Steve Cotter on the guitar. Yours truly on Lewis. I'm Lewis Taylor. Thank you so very much. Let's keep the live jazz support. Let's keep it going. Thank you. Good night.
Woo! Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, let me just say this. I want to also give out big hugs and thanks to Mr. Lanny Hartley. He's responsible for this. So if you want to blame somebody, blame Lanny Hartley. It's all his fault. I'm just being me. Well, like I said, I'm just being me. It's my fault. Lanny Hartley, everybody. Let's give him a big round of applause. Yvette, where did Yvette leave?
I'm up here.
Oh, excuse. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in your space. I'm sorry.
No, You can play another one as far as I'm concerned. That's on you.
You want another one?
Could we? Could we get one more?
Sure. Sure.
Can you handle it? Can you? Okay. Good night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys can go ahead and sit down, rest, or have some water. Take me about 5 minutes. Wow, you guys look beautiful to me. And the music sounded great to me. Great to me. I need it. Because these days are very stressful, don't you think? I mean, all of us have been going through challenges that life's been throwing at us for 2.5 years. I don't want to name the stressors. That'll take me the rest of this evening to highlight all that we have been going through and continue to go through. But this wave of mass shootings has really stunned me. We had mass shootings before COVID, so we can't blame it on COVID or even on the war in Ukraine. But just like COVID, the mass shootings continue to plague us because God is not included in the equation. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. Siddhartha. How do we get here? I mean, how did this wonderful country with its noble mission become a killing field? Most of the blame has been placed on guns, or lack of guns, or too many guns in the wrong hands. And just this weekend, over 1,000 people marched in LA to ban assault weapons. They also blame the perpetrator's mental health that warped his mind. I wonder, do they ask the shooter if he believes in God? Is the motivation for the Buffalo mass shooting the same as Texas? Yes. The motivation for the Buffalo mass shooting was hate for people of color. The motivation for the Texas mass shooting was hate for people. The same feeling, just different targets? No. Same targets, people. The words of the Buddha offered this truth: hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone is healed. How does someone learn to hate like that? I figured that they were taught by spiritually empty people who have no faith in anything outside of themselves. They really believe they live a God-fearing existence in a God-fearing country, a country that everyone in the whole wide world wants to migrate to. Matthew 22:36-40. Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest? He said to him, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment, and a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Well, our country needs a serious mega dose of spiritualism. We are not rooted, connected spiritually. We flail about mentally and spiritually. I believe we are floundering. Let me give you a visual. I just did it. One of those signs that float up in the air, and the air keeps blowing them up a little bit, and then it sinks back down. That's us. That's America. And we're just like little puffs of air to keep us going. We need more. If we practice the wise and spiritual words I just read, especially love thy neighbor as yourself, and the 6th commandment, thou shalt not kill. I believe with a spiritual backbone, the people who believe will not kill. And they will pass this on to their children, who will pass it on to their children, and on and on and on. Believing in God doesn't guarantee a life without pain. Believing in God will give us the inner strength that is needed to face life's pains, tempests, storms, and viruses. Thank you. And thank you, Louis, for playing. Thank you. Uh-oh, here comes Lanny. Come on up here, baby.
Thank you all for coming. I mean, the Jazz Vespers service this year has been very successful, but we could use a few more people. You know, tell your friends and the musicians, they enjoy doing this, and we enjoy listening to all this wonderful music. And next week is Juneteenth, and every musician in the town is working. Everybody. And I'm doing a show in Orange County. I don't know if you, down in the city of Orange, at the Chapman University, and we have, Lewis would have been on it, but he had another gig, and then he called, and anyway.
And there goes Lisa Terry back there.
And Lisa Terry's back there.
The violinist.
The violinist. We're going to have two choirs, choir of kids, a senior choir, violin, strings, horns, dancers. It's going to be a wonderful big show. So if you're going to be in the city of Orange next Sunday at 4 o'clock, I have some flyers. And thank you all. And another thing, next year in the spring, I have an idea. I have a friend who has a big band of voices. And, you've seen the Basie Big Band, you've seen other big bands, but these are all singers. And they've taken, the Swingle Singers, that vocal group. Well, this is a group of people. They read the music, but it's all the big band music. And that's going to cost a little extra to bring them in. So if you want to write a little extra check to the church and put for Jazz Vespers down at the bottom, it's tax write-off, you can sort of help us bring in some really great entertainment. Not that we don't have great entertainment already, but we can bring in some really, really, really wonderful artists. So thank you for coming, and turn it back over to Yvette.
Oh, okay. Well, it's time for us to close up. Oh, no, okay, Dusty, are you going to get time? You're going to talk to Dusty. His artwork is out there. His photographs are absolutely fabulous. And hopefully he'll get finished doing what he's doing right now, because he runs the show up there, video and the sound and all. And you can talk to him after this. And the next Vespers will be on July the 10th, and that's Liz Kinnan and friends.
Liz Kinnan,
She's been here before, piano player. Great. And could we all just do our benediction together? You know this since you were a child. Yeah, stand. If you feel like, if you can stand.
May the
Lord watch between you and me while we're absent, one from another. Amen, y'all. Have a great month or so, and take care now. You're all beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.